You have to surround yourself with people who also have not just the ability to execute, but also have the spiritual grounding, the spiritual education, the spiritual information, so that they lead from your point of view. The biggest mistake is that people get people around them, right, and those people are not aligned in spirit with you. And my biggest mistakes have come from because you can't get it right all the time. My biggest mistakes have come from when you see somebody who isn't aligned in spirit, you need to pull it right then. You need to cut it off right then. My big mistake has been looking at it, seeing it for what it is, giving them the benefit of the doubt, hoping things get better, hope you pull yourself together, yes. Don't want to fire a brother.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all, this is a funny story. So I was doing the movie Beloved in 1998, and we were in Philadelphia, and there was a black man driving. I won't say his name because he was the only black man who was a member of the union. And he had worked for a long time to get to be a member of the union. This one black guy is a member of the Teamsters Union, hard to get into. And every morning I'd get picked up at 4:30 and this brother was going to sleep in the car. Okay? And so I said, Jesus, help me with this. We're rolling the windows down and I'm singing in the car, trying to get him to sing. And every morning he would just fall asleep. So at first I had no security with, so I called security to sit with the guy in the front seat to keep the guy awake. I'm kicking the back seat to keep the guy awake. And one day we're on the highway and almost had an accident. And the whole time I'm like, I can't let him go because he's the only brother in the union. And at the end of that day where we just barely missed getting hit by, a Mack truck, at the end, when we got to our destination, I called him into my trailer and I said, helping you is going to kill me.
When you talk about what the Spirit says in a mixed crowd of diverse people, everybody walks away with a different idea. Tell me if I'm wrong. Every institution has a culture.
Yes.
That culture emanates from its owner and founder. When you talk about, because I'm afraid that people are going to walk out of here and start just hiring believers at random.
Yes.
And only to find out that doesn't work either.
That
doesn't work either.
Yeah.
So I want to go deeper down to understand, are they a good fit for the culture of the organization? And that God doesn't raise the organization faster than he raises you?
No.
And that what you produce ought to look something like you, and there ought to be some similarities in your DNA when you hire them. And if you don't sense that kinship, you can put all those scriptures to bed. If you don't sense that kinship, you may have somebody who quotes scriptures and still falls asleep and snores and needs sleep apnea. Am I right?
Absolutely. And so I think that's such a valid point. And thank you for the clarification, because it doesn't mean that people have to believe like you. Actually, it's better if they don't, because you want as many diverse ideas in the room as possible. And you want to be able to listen to every single one, which I still do. Listen to everybody, what everybody has to say. And then something inside you connects to what is the right thing to do for you and for your company. But you've heard it all. And I am the kind of leader, not a good manager. I'm not a good manager at all. And I had to learn that the hard way. And so as soon as you know that that's not what you do well, find somebody who can do that. Find somebody who can't do that. I knew that because the first time I had to fire somebody, it took me 2.5 hours. And at the end of the conversation, she said, "So are you firing me?" It's supposed to take 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
2.5 hours later, I'm like, well, actually. So now that's not what I do. So finding out what it is you do, and also understanding that when you are at the lead, when you are the one who is in charge of how everything is going to happen, you only need to do what you do and let all the other people do that. And you're going to hire the people and surround yourself with the people that you don't have to micromanage them. You don't hire them and then tell them what to do.
Say it for the people in the back. Say it for the people in the back.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
sometimes I think that people's idea of being the boss is coming up with all their ideas.
It's not.
And if you have to come up with all the ideas, you hired the wrong people.
Hire the wrong people.
You want people who contribute to the growth and the development of your company, your organization, your not-for-profit, whatever it is. You want somebody who brings in fresh ideas. You may not always do them, but you always want to hear them. And if they are not a birth canal for creative thought and innovation, then we need to shut down the hospital and start over again. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Chapter 3, Intention.
So the Oprah Show was number one for 25 years. Nobody beat us. And I'm telling you the secret behind that. There actually is a secret. The secret is that around 1989, I'd already been on the air from 86, starting in 86. Around 1989, I interviewed Ku Klux Klan, and thinking I was showing their vitriol to the world. During a commercial break, I saw them giving each other signals, and I thought inside my spirit, this isn't good. I think I am showing the world who they are, and they are using me. That's what I felt. 25 years later, I brought them back as I was ending the show, and they told me that coming on the Oprah Show was the biggest platform they'd ever been on, and that they used that tape to recruit other people. So I could feel that happening during the commercial break. So I said to the producers after that show, never doing that again. Did another show where the producers were so proud, they got some fool to come on with his mistress and his wife to admit that he was having an affair. And during that show, he said on live television, he tells his wife that his mistress was pregnant. And the audience did exactly what you just did. Everybody was embarrassed for her. And I saw her face, and I felt her humiliation, and I said, that will never happen to me again. So I'm not doing that anymore. So the producer's like, well, what you want us to do? So I had read this book called Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukav, where he talked about intention being one at one with cause and effect, how you cannot have a cause and effect without having an intention behind the cause. So I said to the producers, from this day forward, once I understood the principle, from this day forward, we are not going to do a show unless my intention is aligned with your intention.